Welcome everybody to Primordia, another game by Wadjet. I bought this one a while ago on the Steam summer sale or sometime, and it was pretty cheap. I haven't played this yet, but I just finished Blackwell Epiphany, and it's just like I just can't accept that it's over. So right now I'm gonna play this game to try and, I don't know, gradually let go. Okay, let's go. What the hell? It's a floating porta potty.
Almost there. One more setting. And one more piece of the unique is operational.
One down, 1 million to go. Speaking of which, boss, I found exactly none of the parts you wanted. A whole day at the junk pile, and all I turn up are a locker and some stupid conduits. Maybe next time.
Eagle
Are you sure you got this done right?
That came from down in engineering. Let's go.
Yay! Okay.
There's no time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
There's no time for that. There's no time for that.
Boss, maybe we should see what's happening in engineering.
Don't ever leave my life, you gold barb.
There's no time for that.
Alright, damn.
There's no time for that. There's no time for that. We need to get to engineering.
Oh, you're fine.
There's no time
Strike
for
her.
that.
What are we doing then?
Boss?
Crispin, get behind me. Who are you and what do you want? Power.
I think he wants the power core, boss.
Stop right there. This ship belongs to me.
Forfeit. Enemy. Plunder.
I don't think he's too keen on private property.
Get away from the power core.
Forfeit.
Oh, snap. No, my D20. Well, it wouldn't be a D20 shaped that way.
Boss? Boss? Horatio? Come on, Horatio, wake up!
Horatio? Really?
Whew, you're okay.
What happened?
Someone
Well,
set us
Big
up
Ugly
to-
threw you out of the ship. And then he said plunder. Again. And then he left with our power core.
Basad.
Yep.
How much charge have you got?
10%. You?
I'll be fine. We just need to get the emergency generator up and running. I told you it needed to be repaired.
Or we could just go to Metropol, city of glass and light. Free energy for one and all.
Don't believe everything you hear. Metropol is trouble. But if you want to go, we've got free will in a maglev unit.
With that guilt subroutine you put in me, I wouldn't even make it halfway.
Actually, with a 10% charge, you wouldn't even get that far. So I suggest we get the generator working.
You and your projects.
Man built us to build, Crispin. Now, come on. I must have dropped the data pouch when I was thrown out of the unique.
You sure it's not pronounced eunuch?
Assad, its memory got wiped. Easy enough to have the good old junk pile's coordinates back in, though.
Is that a gumball machine?
No, it's a robot's head.
Ah, I wanted a gumball.
I can't move this without some kind of crane, which I certainly don't have time to build now. I can't pick that up.
Now, I'm not a fancy engineer like you, boss, but it seems like the Unique isn't gonna fly without its tail on.
It's one of the Unique's turbines.
The big engine that couldn't. I wanted a gumball.
Oh.
A broken robot I dragged out of the junk pile. I salvaged the sarcasm coprocessor from it for Crispin.
Yeah, it works great.
Nothing worth salvaging.
You know, boss, if you're ever wondering what I would do, feel free to just ask.
I'll keep that in mind. Crispin Horatio built, version 1. He'll be version 2 once I put some arms on him. He is my best and only friend.
Oh.
The data pouch is registered to me.
Wow, this is like some Space Quest 5 graphics right here. Pretty cool. Oh, you just go there. Okay.
Good old Crispin.
Boss, just think of all the brothers and sisters you could make for me from all that junk.
One of you is more than enough. It's just scrap. Better just to leave it alone.
If that red light went off, I bet the train would start going.
Crispin, sometimes I think you're trying to get me to waste time.
Who, me?
There's a piece of Gordium conduit way back there.
Well,
I
pick
can't
rabbit.
reach the conduit. It's locked tight. Looks like some kind of lockbox. There's nothing worth bothering with.
How do you think a train wound up out here, boss?
Maybe they brought it here by boat.
Very funny.
It's locked tight.
Of course it is.
Looks like an old P2. Or is it a P3? I picked it clean years ago. Crispin, can you go in there and get that piece of conduit?
I suppose. That would have been a lot easier with hands, boss.
Endless junk.
Okay. What did we just pick up?
A segment of Gordium conduit.
Wow,
the data
it is
pouch
just
is
like Space
registered
Quest.
to me.
Alright, how do I talk to you
Hey,
then?
boss, what about trying to open that lockbox I found earlier today? Maybe someone buried treasure in it.
I can't see anything to do with it.
Yep, that's the one I found. I'm not doing that until you build me some arms. I don't really want to try that. That's crazy talk. I'm not doing that.
A segment of How would that even...
I don't know.
Futile. That's never going...
I'd love to help, boss, but I'm all mouth and no hands.
Yeah, I could be perverted there, but I'm not going to. I'm above that right now. Let's go back to the eunuch. Ooh, Grease. I love that movie.
Crispin, when I told you to find a new spark plug, did you just shove my conductive putty into the old one?
Maybe.
No wonder the generator isn't working. At least the putty is still good. The generator is missing a spark plug. There's supposed to be a power-bearing conduit between this socket and the ship, but I never got around to putting one together.
Now who's the procrastinator?
How would that even work? I'll need at least 5 pieces to be able to build a conduit long enough to run the generator to the unique. It's not going to do anything until the generator's fixed. It's a segment of Gordium electrical conduit. I can't just scoop it up. I've tried patching this a dozen different ways without success. A sturdy cable. As much as I'd love to fix that leak someday, we have more important things to do. Plus, it would be a waste of the putty.
Why? You'd be fixing it.
The putty's sticky enough already.
Grease wouldn't make it sticky.
It's a data cable. The cable's far too long.
Okay.
There's no way I can reach that. There's no way I can reach that. More Gordium conduit. The hatch is unresponsive. Could you grab that lantern?
Sure thing, boss.
You know, I always wanted to be able to fly. That's why I built you with a maglev unit.
Not so that you could store tools on hard-to-reach ledges?
Well, that too. There's no way I can... A reliable electric lantern that I cobbled together years ago. The hatch is unresponsive.
You know, boss, I spend hours looking through junk. Maybe you could spend a little more time in the junk pile yourself? That's way too big for me to get, boss, and you know it.
It's too dark to see the ladder rungs. This is no time for sitting around. Only a little sliver left before the moon wanes entirely.
Well, I'm glad we're not the only ones running out of power.
Without power from the ship, the telescope won't work.
Bad timing with those repairs, huh, boss? Strange clouds, huh, boss?
No.
It couldn't hurt to bring the gospel of man with us.
Going to pray for a miracle, boss?
We are man's miracle, Crispin. Let's hope that's enough.
And which gospel would that be? There is more than one. In the beginning, all was still and silent. Then man, the All-Builder, spoke the word, and the word begat the code, and so the world began to spin. Thus dawned the Primordium, the first age, the age of building. Man moved across the world and built many wonders. In the heavens he paved the sky roads, on the lands he raised mystic towers, and in the dark depths he dug colossal caves. Most incredible of all were the many machines designed by man, but still the All-Builder was not satisfied. So with both his hands, man built a body of steel in his own image, and with his right hand he gave logic and memory. He gave with his left. Then man said, "Now I will quicken this machine with the spark of power, and together we shall walk upon the earth." And it was done. What the hell? Is this how Transformers were made? Thus spun the world and grew the code, and multiplied the living machines, and slowly passed the Primordium. Who can count the versions and generations that marked that age? In time, the All-Builder looked upon the many things he had built, the sky roads and mighty towers, and above all upon the living machines. Weary with his labor, man sat himself beside the robots and said unto them, "For you, my children, I spoke the word, and fire the engine of the world. For you I wrote the code, and to you I gave logic and memory." Then man the All-Builder stood and took the machines in his hands, and guided them to a great mountaintop. Together they looked upon the world in its beauty. "All this was made for you, and now unto you all this is given. Keep it, tend it, and make it flourish." And then the All-Builder fell silent and passed from the world, and so ended the Primordium. We are less machines, built by those built by man. As we are but humble images of the All-Builder, so he is the perfection of our forms, a machine of unbreakable form, endless memory, and absolute logic. For this we revere him, and speak the word, and keep the code, and tend the world he gave to us.
I've read enough.
Okay. Interesting, I guess.
I can't
Even
pick
robots
that
have
up.
religion?
That piece of sheet metal really ties the room together, boss. So that's where you keep it.
Why were you looking for my plasma torch?
No reason.
This is no time for a nap,
I still don't see why I don't get a bed.
because you have a flat bottom to rest on.
Boss, were you checking out my bottom?
Let's cut a little cable off. I doubt that will have any effect. I'll need at least 5 pieces. Good thing there's still some power in the circuit.
Boss, shouldn't you have thought of that before coming down here? We could have been stuck.
I could have just ridden you back to the deck.
Really?
No. Routing that much power to your maglev unit would cause it to explode.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I couldn't find a working fuse to solve the problem.
I'm a floating bomb. I'm a floating bomb. Sweet.
The controls for this hatch are unresponsive. I don't need to bring these with me.
After all, boss, life is stranger than fiction.
There's no reason to cut that, or burn it, or weld it. I'm trying to fix the unique, not destroy it.
Okay.
The hatch is... I'm trying to... That could cause the whole unique to go up in smoke. That could cause the... It's the Unique's tag. Without it, I'd have never known the ship's name.
Apparently, building a giant airship doesn't require proper spelling.
Apparently not. There's no reason to cut that. Or it's the Unique's...
You're no fun.
I don't want to get that. I doubt that will happen. Futile.
Very funny, boss.
The generator is missing. There's supposed to be a power-bearing conduit between... Let's see if this works.
Is that a spark plug, boss? Who locks up a spark plug?
Actually, I think that box was some kind of machine.
You killed it!
Recycled it. There's 3 pieces of Gordium conduit. Unfortunately, one of them is completely corroded and worthless. I guess it was actually some kind of machine. I'm pretty sure it was already dead, though. That's never going to work. How would that even... Futile. Time?
Wow, that was easier than I thought it would be. How do you think a train wound...
Maybe they...
Very...
It's a reinforced steel.
So?
It's a reinforced steel.
Sure.
It's a reinforced... Ha! Not after what happened last time I gave it to him.
Who said you were going to give it to him?
There's nothing worth bothering with. Just a run-of-the-mill spark plug.
Whew! I thought we were in trouble when Big Ugly stole our core. But just like that, problem solved.
The problem is not solved.
Well, I agree. The noise leaves something to be desired.
This is an emergency generator, Crispin.
Well, it was an emergency, boss.
It only runs for a few days, if that.
Oh. Well, do we have another one?
No. Which means it still is an emergency.
Well, in that case... First dibs on the recharge station. So, what's the plan, boss?
We need to recover our power core.
Or we could just take the train to Metropol and live in luxury.
First of all, there is no train to Metropol. And second, even with full charges, we can't just walk there. But more importantly, I hate that city. It's in my core logic. I don't know why, but I can't change it.
Okay, okay. In that case, can't you just make us a new power core?
Yes, but I need some kind of strong energy source for that.
Can you just make one of those, too? I'm just asking.
No, but somewhere around here are the plans for an energy sensor.
That's awfully convenient.
I designed it a long time ago, before I made you. I even found a sodium iodide crystal to use in the sensor, though man alone knows where it's buried now.
Weary wanderers, come, join us in Metropol.
It's the Unique's recharging station. We're fine on energy, for now.
I'm pretty sure I saw another conduit at the junk pile when I was...
I've never been able to figure it out.
Hey, boss, what do all these buttons and switches do?
I think there's some sort of defense mechanisms, but I can't figure them out.
City of glass and light. Our energy is shared with all robots. Here is haven for all and
The original designs for Crispin.
Hey, there are arms here! And an awesome set of tractor treads!
I went with a maglev unit instead, and I never could find good arms. There's the design. I'll put the keynotes into my data pouch.
How does it even work?
The crystal pulses when it absorbs energy. The cable carries the pulse to the computer. The computer decodes the information and displays it on the monitor.
Boss, where are we going to find a working computer?
The Unique is full of them.
Oh, right.
Come, join us in Metropol.
It's Crispin's to-do list. Funny how it never gets any shorter.
That's your fault, boss, not mine.
Join us, and together let us begin a new Primordium. Weary wanderers.
I bet I can find a better use for this plug.
But now we can't listen to the sweet voice of Metropol.
I guess that makes two birds. Nothing more to do with it. There's nothing I can do with it until I have some kind of power source. The only way I can use this is by plugging something in. It fits, but there's no point unless I connect the plug to something else first. A simple computer interface with a socket for connecting external hardware. The monitor is designed to socket directly into a CPU. Futile. A simple computer. The crystal pulses when it absorbs energy. There needs to be some kind of connector between the crystal and the cable. The cable carries the pulse to the computer. The monitor is designed to socket. Futile. I doubt that. How would that even? Doesn't have enough processor power. The cables. How would that? I doubt that. That's never. There's nothing worth bothering. Still. I picked it.
How do you lose a crystal, boss? If I had one, I'd attach it to my head.
That's why I put it somewhere you wouldn't find it.
You can't hide something shiny forever.
There's nothing worth bothering. Better just to leave it. There's nothing worth bothering. I guess it was actually. There's no time.
Striker, stop.
I don't think that would be wise.
Are you kidding me?
Wow, first the power core and now a rag. This is not your day.
I don't think that would be wise. It's an excellent tail. It's just detached. I don't need that. Twisted, corroded copper with micro-sandwiched ceramics. Too bad this stuff is mostly unworkable with a plasma torch.